Ottawa is taking steps to improve Canada's Arctic security with a new communication system. This new strategic partnership with the Canadian firms Telesat and MDA Space will help the Canadian Armed Forces in the north. But rising geopolitical tensions and an uncertain relationship with our neighbors to the south has some experts suggesting this all might be too little too late. For a closer look at our Arctic security, right now I'm joined this morning by Robert Hubert. He is a professor at the University of Calgary and the author of Canada and the Changing Arctic Sovereignty, Security and Stewardship. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Anne-Marie.
Why is our Arctic security at risk at this moment in time?
Well, there are two core factors that are really making this one of the most dangerous times that Canada has faced. The first one, of course, is, as you say at the introduction, the changing geopolitics. We have a breakdown of the American acceptance of the traditional rule of law and their alliance system that they have been such a major supporter of. We have a Russia that is much more willing since 2014, and some would argue 2008, to use military force to change borders in and around its location. And equally important, we have the development of weapon systems that are increasingly dangerous for the traditional maintenance of nuclear stability. The new type of missiles with stealth and speed mean that we are entering into an era where it becomes possible that one side might in fact think that it's possible to successfully launch a nuclear strike.
Former Prime Minister Stephen Harper began touting the need for Arctic security during his time in office. But again, we didn't really hear about it again until 2022. So how did we get to this point?
Well, two elements. First of all, because of the international peace that was established at the end of the Cold War, we believe that the importance of the Arctic and the threats to Canada simply had disappeared. We believe that when the USSR dissolves, we will never face a threat to them. But more importantly, we always believe that the Americans will take care of the very big, important issues. We'll do peacekeeping, we'll do sort of side issues, but we've always thought the Americans would have our back. And of course, under the Carney administration, we've had to deal with the United States that has completely broken that trust on that element. And I think all of a sudden we've realized that, yeah, we do have to pay attention to the threats around us, that the Americans will not be there for us.
And whether it's threats of creating trade routes in our north or security coming at us from other countries, Ottawa has agreed to spend billions in defense over the coming years. But in your opinion, where does that money need to be spent in order to improve our own capabilities in the Arctic? As you point out, if it is up to us and us alone, where's the most bang for our buck?
Well, again, this is where it gets so complicated. Given the increasingly destabilized United States, and as unappealing as it is, you almost have to adopt a policy of showing the Americans that we are completely necessary for their defense. And so that means not completely going independent, but looking for the means in which Canada is able to demonstrate both to the Americans and to a potential aggressor, and in this context we're talking about Russia and possibly the Chinese in the future, that we are not a weak link. And so where do we spend the money? Exactly where we say we're going to be spending it, in the new aircraft fighter replacements, in the new types of surveillance systems, in the submarine systems, all the means that we're now rushing to get, which by the government's own admission will probably get around 2030, 2040. And of course the question is, will that be in time to mitigate against an America that no longer is the trusted ally that we had, or an aggressive Russia, or an aggressive China? And that's really the question we have at heart.
Okay, so if I boil that down, it's subs and surveillance, plus communication and improved cybersecurity. Those also seem to be the focus of this new joint command that was recently announced. I thought it was curious when they released the promo video for that. There was a lot of pictures of the North. But I'm curious, we have the Five Eyes Agreement, so why do we need increased global cooperation when it is already in existence?
We need to have the systems that can actually see the possibility of the new type of delivery systems. When I say delivery systems, I mean bombers, I mean submarines, I mean missiles. And the Five Eyes agreements help us on certain elements, but actually being able to look for missiles coming over the Arctic on target to targets within North America, looking for any submarines that can be coming up the North Atlantic for possibility of strikes. All of that requires new equipment. These type of weapons that our enemies have are incredibly advanced, and the existing systems we have, even the head of the American head of NORAD, General Van Clerk, had acknowledged that he doesn't have the ability to detect many of these systems, and that's what we're trying to catch up on.
Well, you can see it when they show the videos. I mean, the vastness of Canada's north. Most of us have never been there. We've only ever looked at it on the map. And you can see the terrain is vast. It is complicated. It is challenging. Interesting to see this surge of money towards our Arctic sovereignty. Robert Hubert, great to have you with us this morning from Calgary. Thanks.
Thank you. My pleasure.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.